Hello and welcome. This project is a pet cremation urn for a Dalmatian dog who was a family member some 20 years ago. The urn is an amalgamation of 3D printing and epoxy resin in the shape of a Knickerbocker glory. The piece will be created by pouring epoxy resin between two separate 3D printed moulds and then turned on the wood lathe to create the item. Here a section of the inner moulds is painted with UV cured resin to make the mould impervious to liquid epoxy resin. The inner black mould has been painted white. This is because the resin is going to be white. The adornment for the piece is glued onto the inner mould, with the dog's name taking centre stage. Each piece is 4 mm thick, with the space between the moulds being 5 mm. I've been carrying out some trials with how thick the resin needs to be. The conclusion to this is about 3.5 mm. Any thinner and the turning becomes a little difficult. Any thicker and you're just wasting resin. All the parts are made of resin and cut out on the CNC. It's now time to put the moulds together. The outer mould will be covered with liquid latex to try and reduce the risk of any leaks. The groove in the outer mould that I'm gluing the inner mould into will hold the inner mould centrally, aiding in setting it up in the lathe later. The small clips on the top hold the mouth of the cup central to the bottom of the mould. The resin is poured, completely white in this case. It's the next day. It's time to release the piece from the pressure pot. Damn, that's not good. Well, I've managed to get it out without breaking it, but you know what that means, don't you? Yes, if there is resin in the bottom of the pot, then it's leaked from the mould. This means there will be voids in the resin cast when the moulds are turned away and repair work will be required to fix it. Anyway, it's on to turning and removing the mould. The mould is coming off quite easily. If you have any questions you would like answering or would like to know more, please leave your comments below. Once the mould has been removed, I'll be able to see the condition of the resin beneath. I'm just going to face up the bottom so that I can fit a base plate for a bit of rigidity. Here's the faceplate, a piece of corian with a hole cut in it to take my maker's logo. With this faceplate fitted, I will be able to hold the base in the chuck, ready for turning out the other end. A small amount of cleaning up to make everything fit nicely. I'm just giving the outside surface an initial sanding before it's inspected for defects. On the whole it was very good, with some minor defects being repaired with UV cured resin. Next thing to tackle was the mouth of the cup, which I suspected would have some problems from the resin that had leaked out in the pressure pot. I only plan to remove the inner mould to around 1.5 inches down the cup. Any further and it might cause me problems with the turning. If you liked my video and work, please consider subscribing, clicking the notification button and sharing the video. As you can see, the leaked resin has caused some voids to be left. I was able to build up the surface with some UV resin and then sand the whole thing smooth. The plan was to paint this surface black and no one would be any the wiser. This went down a treat. A final bit of sanding, ready for 6 or so coats of lacquer. I printed some ice cream with accoutrements. These were painted with UV resin to give an almost realistic look. Just time for my maker's logo. Beauty shots next. That's it. Thanks for watching.